Good morning from Dolan Springs, Arizona. This is in the northwestern portion of the state on the way to Vegas. And my buddy Matt and I are on our way up to Mount Tipton, which is one of the Arizona 2,000-foot prominence peaks. We made the relatively easy dirt road drive. The last maybe mile and a half is a little bit rougher, but my car made it with no problems. Well, the road was smooth for a little ways after the gate, but it's gotten a little rougher now, so it was probably good that we parked there. So Tipton is about 7,100 feet in elevation, and I think the prominence is 3,600 something. Yeah, we were actually supposed to be in the southeastern corner of the state today doing a peak down there. My brother was going to come with us, but he got sick, so we're going to save that peak for another time. And Matt and I decided to come up here and get Tipton knocked out. Anyway, that's peak bagging for you. You never know where you're going to end up. Well, the road continues, it looks like, but you can't drive any further than this. So we'll stay on the road a little further, and then pretty soon it looks like we're going to start the head off trail and basically approach from the northwest, and then eventually get up to the just north of the peak. Alright, we've come to the end of the road, at least our end of the road. So we're going to start heading across the brushland here. What do you think so far?
So far, so good.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Alright, we've probably been getting up a little too high too early. We're going to drop down a little bit, get into the wash, and then just take that up as far as we can. So we're probably heading more towards the west of the peak, and then we'll head up the ridge. There's another cairn right there, and we've pretty much come to the saddle right here. So we'll take a break. All right, Matt worked out some numbers, and according to his calculations, the peak is only 0.83 miles away from here in a straight line. But we're gonna head up to the ridge, somewhere up here, and then we'll head off to the east. So far, so good. We're making progress up towards the ridge. Vegetation isn't too bad, and it's not too steep. I think we're gonna have a pretty straight shot up to the summit. As long as it's not excessively vegetated up there, it should be pretty easy. So there's the summit right there. It's not too much further, not too much higher. We should be there in about 5 minutes or so. All right, we made it to the summit. Cool. Well, here's the original Mount Tipton sign-in summit log sheet, notebook. And it begins on November 17th, 1974. All right, Matt and I have been up here for about half an hour already. We've been checking out the logbooks and relaxing, getting some food. I'll get the 360 view and then point out some of the more notable peaks. So here's a look at Charleston Peak / Mount Charleston, whatever it's really called. And then I could see Vegas too, down there. Then Hayford Peak. Matt's been pointing out some of the peaks in this direction, others with his Peak Finder app, but I'm not going to really point any out. It's just, I'm not too familiar with them. Another peak with beautiful views, obviously. It's a pretty nice day. There's Wallapai Peak, I guess southeast of Kingman. And then this one is Spirit Mountain here, which is at the bottom tip of Nevada. All right, I'm trying one more 360 from a little bit higher vantage point on top of a rock. Yeah, Charleston looks pretty cool. Some snow on Hayford. There's a little bit of snow up here that we went through, but not much. And maybe the last of it for this year, who knows. And this is looking kind of east in this direction. All right, Matt and I are leaving the summit. We got up here in about 3 hours, spent at least a half an hour up here, and then it was about 4.95 miles up. Yeah, for the most part, the vegetation hasn't really been too bad. Most of the time, a path presents itself, like this one right in front of me. We are back to the saddle here. Pretty much came down almost exactly the way we went up. We may have been a little bit more to the west, but barely. Here's looking back on the summit of Tipton. We've come to this clearing here, and it looks like the wash is kind of fading away, or at least opening up a little bit more. Can't see the canyon we went up, or the saddle, but we were up on that ridge, basically in the center of the shot now, and then just kind of worked our way up to north of the peak, and then up from there. We got just a little bit less than 10 miles. It was 6 hours and 30 something minutes, I think. 3,600 feet of elevation gain. You can pretty much see the road out there. I'll zoom in on it. You just take the road out basically about 2 miles, and then you'll see the off-trail point, and then head up into the canyon, follow the wash up to the saddle, which is west of the peak, and then follow the ridge up to the peak. It's pretty easy, pretty simple, good route, and worked out pretty well. Okay, that's prominence peak number 52 for me and 48 for Matt. So we're both getting a little bit closer to being done. Glad to get another one checked off the list. That was Mount Tipton. Prominence over 3,600 feet, so it's a pretty high prominence peak. And we both enjoyed it. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good day.